You can go into this game knowing that if you hate the way they look, it's going to be over if they lose.
Mm-hmm.
And if you love this team and they win, well, they're in the conference final and you have some excitement. Like, I do think there's a sense of freedom going into tonight. I do.
That's interesting. The Luke Fox also has a poll. What's the field today? And he has Panthers in 6, Leafs in 7, Panthers in 7 as options. Love this. Maple Leafs in 7 is 50.7%.
No way.
So
he's got different followers than me.
He's got Leaf fan followers. Half of Leaf fans, according to him, believe they'll win the series.
I have it more 60-40 for the fan base.
Do you know what the betting odds are? The betting odds give the Leafs a 18% chance of winning the series. 15% the other place I saw.
Yeah.
That's higher than I would even think.
You would think, really? Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
They're saying there's a chance.
So
all right,
1
we
and
know
5, 1 and 5 and change.
we know where you guys are in terms of the team's mentality. Where does the head coach have his teams?
Yeah, let's play it.
Clip 1.
Clip 1, please.
Well, Game 5's over, so that's over with. Excited, ready to go. Go play.
Game 5 is over.
Sure is. Should we talk about the lineup?
I get the sense.
We did talk about the lineup yesterday. We said he's going to go down with the ship.
Before we move to that,
we got it right.
can I ask you?
Yeah.
Like that Game 5 result, and I'll ask you, just get the sense from that clip, that the result and the backlash to that, it feels like it genuinely caught him off guard with that clip to me. Like,
there's backlash to that?
No, like just him talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, Game 5. Can you play it again, Derek? Clip 1.
Well, Game 5's over, so that's over with. Excited, ready to go. Go play.
He understands this market. I get it. But, like, even him, maybe, after what happened after that Game 5 and the way people talked about it, myself included, I think that maybe caught him off guard. Do you get that sense in that clip?
Yeah, maybe. You know,
I don't think he gets caught off guard.
Okay.
I just think he just dictates whatever he wants to dictate. And I'm not getting caught up in all of that. I don't need to explain anything. As far as he's concerned, he's moving on, and he can only control what he can control.
Yep. Fair enough.
you know, I'm going to say something here that's going to sound positive to the point where you guys are going to hate me. But the last time the Florida Panthers lost a game 5-1 or 6-1 like the Leafs, Stanley Cup final, they lost 5-1 to the Oilers. 2 games prior to that, they lost 8-1 to the Oilers. In the series, they lost 5-1 and 8-1. In the Stanley Cup final last year.
Was it game 6 they lost?
In
8-1?
Edmonton.
They lost game 4 8-1 and game 6 5-1.
Oh, okay. I thought it was flipped.
Yeah.
Boys, good teams lose games badly. And I'm not saying we overreacted to last game. I am saying that this is not what I said initially. I don't think these teams are miles apart. Last game was terrible for the Leafs in every conceivable way. It's not going to be 6-1 tonight. And if it is, I will have a lot to say. Emotional damage.
Yeah, that's for sure.
They've got some weapons still. Say what you will about Game 5. Willie could find a way to make a couple of big plays. Austin and Mitch are still there. They didn't
become bad players.
Well, they didn't lose their talent
Right.
in 48 hours.
You know, a bounce, an opening, a seam.
Joseph
they can do
Wall, those are the things that you got to consider. It's sport.
Joseph Wall, yeah.
Joseph Wall.
Like Joseph Wall to me, if he's good tonight,
Right.
Bob can have bad nights. We saw him in the first couple games, first 3 games. What did he give up? 10 goals or something? Like it can happen.
Okay, let's go to Craig Berube on the lineup changes. We spoke of him momentarily, but let's get deeper thoughts on new, old faces coming back. Or is it old, new?
I liked our game with the other guys in the lineup. I made changes. We lost a couple, added some fresh guys, some fresh legs. Other guys are rested, ready to go, and we played good hockey with that lineup we have tonight.
I mean, he's not wrong. Old Nicky Robertson comes in, gets his G-note back in the press box for popcorn.
Yeah, I don't think. Here's what the key is. It's probably tonight. If I had to write a game story pregame, it's not going to come down to Pontus Holmberg and Calle Jarnkrok.
No.
Is that a fair statement?
Very fair.
So
He did put him back with Holmberg, back with Tavares and Nylander, and that line was actually very complete. They weren't as good offensively, but they've been complete when they're together.
and he can't control the matchup, so he probably wants a more defensive mind on that line.
Yeah.
Kipper?
I know what you're trying to say with it's not going to come down to that. We know, of course, what you are insinuating. The big boys need to be the big boys. But if they happen to be on the wrong side tonight, then it does have something to do with it. And I've stayed consistent. The one thing that I know I've stayed consistent is my look at the left side all season long. And I know that Matthew Nyes is going to be a terrific hockey player and a power forward and all of that. But I still look at Matthew Nyes and he's not ready yet. Like he's not peak Matthew Nyes. No. And it's very difficult right now still in a development process to ask him to be a star left winger on a Stanley Cup team. And this is where it gets really disappointing for me that you need now to come back to Pontus Holmberg and start him in a top 6 position on the left side. And then I don't know where you go from there. Lorenz and McMahon's been a major disappointment.
Yeah.
So I look at that left side tonight, and I'm like, eesh.
Kipper,
This
hasn't been your take for this year.
No,
This is since we started our show up in the old studio on YouTube.
Yeah.
This has been your take. This is not a new thing for the Leafs. Sorry.
So that's
no,
and that's where you can look back and say, you guys kind of left it a little exposed there. You took your chances on McMahon, and I get it. I liked him. I saw the potential coming in to be a 25-goal scorer, heavy. There's times when he was physical. You drive to the net. You take one guy on his back with him. And now there's just nothing there.
Bobby McMahon looks good. Bobby McMahon looks like, one of the 30 best offensive players in the league. When he's like flying and scoring and running into people, you're like, my God. We talked about how much, more money he could have earned. And all of a sudden it's just.
Can he give the Leaf fans
a
game tonight?
I thought for sure. And, he has had a few recently where he's streaking down and trying to take it to the net. I will say you can see him trying.
His last goal was against the Philadelphia Flyers on March 25th.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's